everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another Gran Turismo 7 Dirtiest Drivers video. Today's video we're going to be focusing on the driver in this race that you're seeing me start at the minute, a couple of places ahead, and currently the third place is Gavin. That's the driver we'll focus on, but just for the moment we're going to have a look as a bit banging going on, and Dawn Shen, we will have a video on him coming soon, another very lucky driver. But at the moment we're going to focus on Gavin, and Gavin is a driver who got abusive with me in the chat after this race, calling me a scumbag, telling me in the chat that I was a dirty driver, and called me another name or two. So I sent him a message on the PlayStation system just to defend my corner. Gavin decided that he wanted to report me to PlayStation for that, so that made me go back and have a look back at the rest of his race, not just the incident in question with me. And that led to a few interesting discoveries. Gavin is, I believe, dirty drivers, there's different types of dirty drivers, and I do have a video coming on the different types of dirty drivers, but Gavin is a driver that is dirty for a number of different reasons, and may not intend to be dirty, wouldn't be probably his intention going into the race isn't to be dirty, but there is reasons why he becomes dirty during the race. So we'll discuss that as we go through the video as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump back to the start of the race now. We're going to jump on board with Gavin and have a look at his race from his point of view. And then after that I'm going to break down my incident with Gavin, and then another move Gavin makes in the same place where he's calling me dirty for making moves, and we'll have a look at how he conducts his move as well. So we're going to jump over now to Gavin at the start of the race. So here we have Gavin starting the race. Turn one, fairly large gap between him and Felipe's braking because of the car front. Gavin decides to throw it down the inside. I'm not just happy with that, he throws it across the front of Felipe as well. Bit of a suspect move, but slight little door bang is the only contact they make, and on racing they go. As Felipe makes an error, Gavin goes very wide there. That to me would be very much an abuse of track limits. I can understand maybe two wheels out, maybe over the line and on a curve, but the whole car was well out there. And you can see Gavin getting out onto the gravel there as well, to let Felipe come back at him. The first thing I noticed straight away about watching Gavin really is look at the car control. He's very light and deep into corners. The car is very twitchy. So that's one of the areas I believe why some people are dirty drivers. And again, Gavin just basically cuts the corner. He lets off before doing it, so he doesn't pick up the penalty. As we look back and see a couple of cars closing behind. But yeah, Gavin's car control is one of the reasons why he can be a dirty driver. I'm sure if Gavin chose a car that it was a bit easier to control and he was able to control, then he wouldn't have so much contact with the cars. So something maybe for Gavin, if he's watching this, to keep in mind, but maybe choose a car that you can control. As we look back at Travero and me then behind Travero, so we're gonna Gavin in this race calling me a dirty driver. We're going to see here down the straight. I'm going to make a move on Travero. That's such a dirty move. I was so dirty passing Travero there. I even got stopped before into the side of Gavin. That's how dirty I am. And however, Gavin's still losing control here. That's start of lap 2. This kind of train continues for a couple of laps now in this position, so we're going to jump ahead and we'll pick it back up when we catch up on the train. So we're back on board here with Gavin coming towards the end of lap 2 now. We've got a good 3 cars fighting ahead and I'm closing in behind as well, so this is about to become a 5-car battle here. So Gavin's going to show us here why I say he doesn't probably intentionally go out to be dirty and it's just that his driving is dirty, because you can see here, if he really wanted to be dirty, Gavin could drive down the side of the inside of all 3 of them there. He doesn't. He gets the car down the inside of the Spaniard, gets stopped and gets a turn. So it shows his intentions aren't to be dirty, but his driving style, as I said, and why I say his car control, and I consider that to be dirty driving, is in all forms of racing. If your car hits someone because it's out of control, you're at fault for losing control of the car in the first place. So that's where I place the fault at Gavin's feet and would consider a form of dirty driving. So you can see here though, Gavin has kept it nice and clean, in a bit of a train here now, the 5 of us. And as far as I'm aware, this lap would probably finish out in the train. I can't remember if Gavin does get a move done on. Actually, yes, Gavin makes a move up here now on the car ahead. And this is the move we're going to come back to that Gavin makes into this corner. So he's got the run on the French guy ahead, Pilot we call him. So Pilot's moved to the right hand side of the track. Gavin moved down the inside, and he gets as soon as he gets his car past, sort of slight right move in the braking zone just to stop Pilot coming back up the inside. And you can see it cost Pilot there because he had to back out of it earlier and didn't get the drive he wanted through the chicane then. So it's just movement, sideward movement in a braking zone in any form of racing will always be considered a dirty move. Cannot move sideways in a braking zone. So Gavin's up to second here, and this train is going to continue now up until lap 5 where I pit and Gavin on the leader hold these positions the way they are now up until the end of lap 6, end of lap 6, start of lap 7. So we're going to jump ahead to that point. So here we pick up Gavin and coming out of the pits at the end of lap 6 onto lap 7, and I pitted a lap earlier, so I was closed up by having a quick out lap, and my tyres are up to temperature now behind Gavin, and you'll see here Gavin struggle a little bit on cold tyres as he's just come out of pits. So the first few corners he's struggling to get them tyres up to temperature, and all the time in the background you can see I'm closing in. Again, just sliding over the grass, cold tyres just turning in a little bit earlier. So I'm coming down here and into this run I've been thinking, right, I could take him here or I could take him at the end of the long straight into the chicane. So I did have a little look at him there, but I was too far back and wasn't able to make a move. So as you can see, I tucked in behind him and I'm just making sure here that I am close enough to him once we come out of this set of corners that I can get the slipstream and make a run on him down the long straight. So as we come out of the corner here, you'll see I get the drive and you'll see me gradually close up now on the slipstream. Gavin moves to the inside of the track here. And as he moved into the truck, I pull up alongside, and I'm clearly alongside as Gavin turns into the side of me. So he decides to cut the corner rather than back out, and then tries a salty dive to take me out. So now Gavin goes into the pause menu to abuse me in chat while we're racing. And you can see because the car is nice and smooth, there's no twitchiness of Gavin controlling it at the moment. You can instantly see the place there, you go, right where Gavin takes back control. As soon as he takes back control, you can see how twitchy and the car gets. So that's another place where I'm saying car control could do with a little bit of work. So other than that, then in the race, then the cars ahead, Trevero pits and pilot pits. So, or is it no, pilot pits I think it was actually. Well, our pilot fleet or Felipe pits. Anyway, I now come at the end of the race. There's myself, Dombishan and Gavin all together, so we're going to jump ahead to the end of the race now. So here we are on the final lap. As you can see, Gavin's closing on Dirtiest. I'm ahead, and I've got Dombishan and the Portuguese guy further ahead. There you can see Grand Turismo. Gavin makes a nice move down the inside of the barrel. Again, showing me you can't race. Really. As we go up the hill here. Just as Gavin comes out of the Schumacher West's here, you can see off in the distance Dombishan absolutely sending the Portuguese guy off into oblivion, which allows myself and Gavin through. And you can see Dombishan now ahead struggling, which is allowing me and Gavin to close in. So fortunately we weren't able to attempt anything before the finish line, but I don't know really whether I wanted to try anything at this point, and I haven't seen how dirty the German had been earlier in the race, so, and of course on the last lap there, so come across the line and take fourth anyway, and Gavin gets fifth, but he does go on to as I say, call me dirty, a dirty driver in the chat, and a few names, so that's what prompted me to look back at the Gavin's race. So we're going to have a look back now, as I said, at the incident which caused Gavin to be abusive. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to pick this up just coming out of Center S's. I'm going to play it through full speed, and then I'm going to we'll stop it at the different phases of the corner and see who has control of the corner and who's, in my opinion, why I continued the way I did and didn't give back the position to Gavin, and why Gavin got triggered, which is again another category of dirty driver which I think Gavin falls into, is easily triggered. Drivers who are not usually dirty, but when they are contacted in a race become triggered and assume that every bit of contact is an act of aggression towards them, and they respond with aggression in kind. So let's have a look at this at full speed from my point of view. So tucking up behind Gavin here, just making sure I get my run out onto the long straight. As you can see, tucked in behind in the slipstream. And here I was going to dive to the inside, and I'm just seeing Gavin moving across, so down the inside. So as you can see there, I got the car stopped for the apex. I got the car alongside, actually the front of me here, the car was ahead for the apex. As you see, Gavin make his dive bomb over there. So let's rewind that back and talk it through. And here we are down the straight. Now, here we are coming up to the braking, so the 150 metre board just approaching it. I'm tucked in behind Gavin, and Gavin has started to move to the right hand side of the track. So I decided my line at that stage is down the inside. So as you can see here, we've just passed the 100 metre board, started braking, and we've actually just passed the 50 metre board, so well into the braking zone. As you can see, at this stage I've got half my car alongside Gavin's. So we'll talk about where that's now in a second. So slightly rolling on slightly a little bit more. Approach the apex, and we're gonna just slowly, as you can see, Gavin's turning in already to the apex. Now where my car is positioned, I've got half my car ahead of, or just under half a car ahead of Gavin's. So Gavin's turning in, knowing that there's a car on the inside there, not allowing for space on the apex. So let's play it onto the apex. You see Gavin turns in, bounces off me. Now I've got the car rotated, so we're on the apex, literally sitting on the apex. I've kept the car as tight as I can. I've got the car rotated. On the right hand side there's plenty of space for Gavin if he wants to keep his car in there. We keep rolling through the corner. Here I originally, let me just click this back here a bit. I originally went to leave the space on the right hand side of the second part of the chicane here until I noticed Gavin straighten his car out and go to cut the second part of the chicane. So here you can see I'm braking and I'm turning the car in there, and I'm still turning at that point. Yeah, I've lost it. At this point, as you can see, I'm fully ahead now of Gavin. I'll take the wall camera. So there's a clear gap between the two cars. So we've now see the wheels there still straightened out now towards to take the second chicane. And Gavin decides he's not going to follow and tuck in behind and follow. So we exit this. Clearly that now is my corner to control again in the second phase of the corner. So we'll move on, but Gavin doesn't see it that way. Gavin wants to dive straight across the grass so he doesn't lose time to me. Already in his mind now, that contact was my fault and that was an act of aggression towards him. So it's already in his mind he wants to take me out of turn one after the last contact. And you can see as I slow down out the turn in, you can see there Gavin turns the line up the car. So he wants to come straight into the side of me basically. And I'm just too quick through the corner and Gavin ends it straight on. So quick wind back here now. We play it on. So racing rules, where I believe I was right in the corner, and I don't know why Gavin would believe he's right, but we're just going to pause it again here, the 150 metre board, as we discuss this for a second. In general, in racing, if a driver gets his car alongside, then you have to allow the space. Well, and that's a car's width, whether that be on the inside or the outside. That's the most simplest terms of racing and overtaking. You could take it a step and you could use the more stricter guidelines that a lot of people will have seen the F1 brought in this week, and that would be that the car overtaken would have to get half their car length up the inside to be entitled to space on the inside of the corner, and on the exit of the corner the car on the outside would have to have half their car ahead. So the inside driver would have to have half of their car alongside before the apex to require the space. The outside driver would have to have half their car ahead at the apex or after the apex to require the space on the outside. So we move along into the braking zone. So here we're braking at the 100-meter board. You can see we're both on the brakes. I'm still moving up alongside, clearly confident that my tyres are at their optimal point here now, and this is my first proper flying lap, so I'm confident the tyres are there and the brakes are there to get the car stopped. And as we come into the apex, again we'll jump. So for Gavin to allow space for me at the apex, I would require to have half my car length alongside his, or else I would have to be fully alongside his car before reaching the apex. Now, we haven't reached the apex yet, and we can clearly see here I've actually got more than half my car ahead of Gavin. Yeah, Gavin is turning into the apex here, which causes Gavin to bounce off me. So Gavin shouldn't be turning into the apex here. Gavin should be taking this wider line. He should be braking a little bit later, taking a little bit early turn or later turning, which would have put his car alongside me here in this part of the corner, which then would have forced me to step out on the exit because Gavin would have had the inside line of the control on the exit. But instead, Gavin decides he wants to turn into me and bounce off me. Now, as you can see, clearly have the car ahead of Gavin. So we're going to jump back out here. And on the second phase of the corner for Gavin for me to require to give Gavin space, Gavin now needs to get half of his car ahead of me. Now we see here on the exit of the corner, back into warp mode. Clearly Gavin hasn't got any of his car even alongside me, as I have now 2 to 3 feet of clearance. So to me that's a move done, and it will be now incumbent on Gavin to drop in behind me through this and the final corner of the lap, and maybe attempt to make a move to regain the position at the end of the straight, the start finish straight here into turn 1. But now Gavin wants to try and get salty and wants to try and be dirty and take me out. So that leg played to any chance he had of coming back at me later on in the race. So that's how I see that instant with Gavin. Let's have a look back at the earlier overtake Gavin made into that same corner on lap 3. So we're going to pick up Gavin here, on board with Gavin behind Pilot on the run down to the chicane, and we'll have a look at this move Gavin makes. So, like myself, he's in the slipstream, Pilot pulls to the right, Gavin's going on the inside. So we're going to pause it here coming to the 150 board. So Gavin has got his car slightly ahead, but he brakes or lets off. I don't know what it is there, but as you can see, Pilot's car sort of shoots back forward to level, so they're side by side now. So Gavin is entitled now to room on the inside of the corner. So we continue ahead, and you can see here all the time as we're moving towards into the braking zone now, well into the braking zone. We're at the 100-meter board, so definitely everyone should be on the brakes by this point. And you can see here during the braking zone, you can just see as Gavin drifts, he sort of moves his car back to the left there. He sees he's drifting to the right, sort of flicks his car back to the left, but then moves back over, and you can see cuts off any space for Pilot. So although Gavin has made the move, Gavin should be holding his line into the corner and then straightening up to take that. There should be no right hand movement there to cut off the line, because that's a movement in the braking zone. When they're only racing, no matter where in the world you go, side movement in the braking zone will not be tolerated and will be considered dirty driving. And this is where I think Gavin falls into another category of dirty driving, in that it's a mentality issue of win or take. It's a win at all costs mentality. So he didn't mind cutting up Pilot there because it was stopped Pilot coming back at him, which helped Gavin achieve his ultimate goal that he wants to achieve by winning the race. So that's the end of this video. Just a couple of it's called end notes. How do you protect yourself from drivers in the categories which I've put Gavin into? So the easily triggered drivers, dirty drivers, are the easiest to deal with. Just simply do your best not to make contact with them. If you don't make contact with them, they don't become dirty. If it's a driving issue, it's a car control issue, my advice would be to maybe spend a couple of corners behind the car, see where they have good car control, where they don't have good car control, and try and overtake where they have good car control. And then the mentality issue, there's not really a lot you can do about that. If someone has the mentality of they're going to win at all costs, they're going to win at all costs. So if you place yourself in their way, then they are most likely going to just barge their way through you. So there's not really a lot you can do about that. So anyway, as I said, a couple other more videos there I'm working on at the moment. They should be up next week at some stage during the week. If you have any other Gran Turismo 7 related content you'd like to see on the channel, pop it in the comments and let me know. And also pop in the comments and let me know, do you agree with my opinion on the incident with me and Gavin, or do you disagree? Do you think Gavin's right and that it was a dirty move by me? Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching, bye bye.